fellow citizens, pardon me, and allow me to ask, why am I called upon here to speak to you today? What have I or anyone I represent to do with your national independence? Or are the great promises of political freedom and natural justice embodied in the Declaration of Independence extended to us? Would to God, for both your sakes and ours, an affirmative answer would truthfully be returned to the question, but such is not the state of the case. I say with a sad sense of disparity between us, I am not included within the pale of your glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings you celebrate this day and rejoice is not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of life, liberty, prosperity, and independence granted to you by your forefathers are not shared by me. The sunlight that brought life and health to you brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice. I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters in the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems is inhuman mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean to mock me, fellow citizens, by calling me here to speak to you today? If so, there's a parallel in the conduct, and I must warn you that it is dangerous to copy a nation whose crimes towering up to heaven were thrown down by the breath of the Almighty, and that nation buried in irrevocable ruin. I stand today in the cries of a peeled and woe-smitten people. Fellow citizens, standing there, being identified with the American bondman, making his wrong mine, I do not hesitate to declare with all my soul the character and conduct of this nation never looked blacker than on this 4th of July. And what to the American slave is the 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than any other day of the year the gross conduct and injustice to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty and unholy license, your sounds of rejoicing empty and heartless, your songs and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings are to him mere fraud, impiety, deception, and hypocrisy, a thin veil covering up crimes that would disgrace a nation of savages. There's not a nation on earth guilty of practices more bloody and shocking than are these people of the United States at this very hour. Am I to argue that man is entitled to liberty? That he is the rightful owner of his own body? You have declared it on your 4th of July. Am I to argue the wrongfulness of slavery then? To do so would make myself look ridiculous and offer an insult to your understanding. There's not a man under the canopy of stars that does not know that slavery is wrong for him. What then remains to be argued? Is it that slavery is not divine? That God did not establish it? That the doctors of divinity were mistaken and performed blasphemy in the thought? That which is inhuman cannot be divine. Who could reason such a proposition? They that can may, I cannot, for the time for such argument is past. I never saw so many ghostly-looking faces as I did on that 4th of July.